that was another thing. So as a group, those several things, the airflares, more than anything the airflares, but also like the way of thinking, a very creative, abstract, unique way of thinking, and the press style, the flawless footwork style. Those are three things that we really did a lot to contribute. One thing that I personally did later, 99, in the summer of 1999, I was messing around with a move that I actually saw a couple of people do, like Moy and Crumbs. And I think I've seen it outside of b-boying too. I can't remember where I've seen it outside of b-boying, but I think I did see it outside. It's where you're on your hands, like in a handstand, right? And then you pull through. You throw your body back. You're on your hands, you throw your body back and you land on your back, right? Everyone's seen Moy do it. He's famous for it. You know, Crumbs does it as well. And now it's a very common move. But those are the first two people I've ever seen do it. So I was thinking, well, you're going backwards. What would happen if you went forwards, for example? Or what would happen if you went sideways? You know, what could happen? What happened? Is that even possible? You know, so I started messing around with that, and it eventually became this whole series of moves, and I named all these moves. There was the forward one off my head, front head spring, all the way over, catch. On my hands or back on my head again, and I do a second one. I call that the Free Willy. Then there was the one I did out of a cartwheel. I did a cartwheel all the way over, bam! And I caught on my hands, you know, lying down. I call that a sledgehammer because it looks like a sledgehammer. And then there was the other one where I did the cartwheel over rotate to my shoulder and then aerial, drill through the air. And because it looks like cartwheel over rotate, bam! Aerial, it looked like a tumbleweed going through the desert. Call that a tumbleweed. You know, then there was some stupid one. There was the one I called the hot potato because it's all for one hand. And it goes right over, you know, land back on the hands and then on the back. Half twist, land on the back, you know. Had a bunch of moves like these. And the only one doing it at all. There was nobody else doing anything like this because it was stupid. It was like, there was no way in hell you're not gonna get hurt doing shit like that because it's, you know, your hands flip over, land back on your hands, it's gonna hurt. So I did get hurt, you know, I had burst on my elbow, I hurt my wrist, sprained my wrist doing that. You know, I landed on my head doing shit like that. When you land on your arm like that, it damages your shoulder, you know. Definitely hurt myself. I got concussions from the tumbleweeds and things like that. A lot of bad stuff happened through that, but it became a style, and it took at least 6 years before it became common. Now you look at a lot of people and you actually see them doing these moves, and they know some of the names, like they know, like, oh, that's a Free Willy, yeah. People in melodrama do Free Willies, you know, people in Knuckleheads Cali do Free Willies. You know, and they know it's called a Free Willy. It's hilarious. They do them right in front of me, and I'm like, yeah, it's incredible. You know, it's really funny to see that. But 6 years later, like 2005, people are starting to do it. It's starting to become a phenomenon. And I think it's because people know, like, that's another thing. That's another direction that breaking has to go in. Air style. You know, just like the airflares, the Airtracks, and all that. That had to happen. People had to get off the floor and start spinning in the air. It had to happen, you know. And then, because, you know, breaking is so adaptable, it's so malleable. It's not just set in stone in these little boundaries. It's never going to grow anymore. It's not stuck there. It's going to grow. It's going to keep on growing. People are going to keep adding new ideas to the pot, you know. But some of them are just necessary. Some of them are like what's the word? They're like, you know, that line that you cross. Like once you get past this roadblock, then suddenly a whole new road opens up for you. You know what I mean? So once you got past the hurdle of not being able to spin in the air, then all these possibilities with airflares and Airtracks open up before you. And then when you get past the roadblock, the hurdle of not being able to over-rotate a flip, a handspring or a cartwheel, then you've got all these other possibilities with free willies and tumbleweeds and sledgehammers and hot potatoes and and all these other things. You've got a lot of possibilities there. So it has to happen. It's one of those things that just had to happen in order for b-boying to advance to another level. And I think that's just beginning. I think people are starting to think of where free willies and things like that can take them. Like I know I've thought of, and several other people have thought of, what if you could do flare and then front flip, catch on your hand and go back to flare. A lot of people have thought of that. I thought of that. I can't do it. I don't know anybody else that can do it, but it'll happen one day. And that's a free willy. It's flare and free willy off your hands, catch back on your hands, and back into flare. Somebody's going to do it. I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe this person hasn't even started dancing yet. Maybe it'll be 10 years from now. I don't know. It's one of those impossible moves that I think is just necessary. Things like that will happen. They have to happen. You know what I mean?